Hello friends. Please excuse my hair. I just let it air dry. This is actually my natural hair. It's like super duper curly. And I just wanted to talk with you guys a little bit about my eating and how I eat. I've been getting a lot of questions recently about intuitive eating, and I thought, why not just make like a little clip about it? It's probably not gonna be little. I guess I switched over to eating intuitively about 2 years ago, and the reason for that is because when I started out getting into fitness, I feel like you need to track your macros or track your calories to make progress, because that's often what you see online, and I know it's not great to believe things online, but you do it. I'd started tracking my macros and calories, and it slowly progressed into not going out to eat because I didn't know the nutritional value of my food, or saying no to foods that I thought were unhealthy, even to the point where I just was like so concerned over making sure I had every single calorie counted and this and that, and I was getting obsessed with it, and I guess my efforts to eat right went extremely wrong because I was way in over my head. And I just thought, I mean, I'm this far deep into this obsession of calories. I need to get out of it some way. I don't want this to be the rest of my life. So I just made a change, and it definitely wasn't easy, and it wasn't a smooth ride. And yes, I had slip-ups and I messed up. But to this day, I honestly think that that was the best decision of my life. And now I'm not saying this is going to work for everyone, and I'm not hating on tracking calories or macros. If you can do that in a healthy manner, if you can use that as a tool to help yourself towards your goal, do it. That's awesome. But for me, it went to the extreme, and I needed to get out of that. So what is intuitive eating? For me, it might mean different than what it means for you, but for me, it's eating when you're hungry, stopping when you're full, not having any labels for foods, not calling broccoli good superfoods, and not calling chocolate terrible foods, evil foods. Food should not be bad. The most important thing that I did was reject the diet mentality. You get into a cycle of restricting yourself on a roller coaster ride. So you restrict, and by the end of the night, you are so hungry, you end up eating way more than you would if you just ate constantly throughout the day. So getting out of that restricting and then binging cycle is so important for you to be able to eat intuitively. I slowly kind of just learned how to trust my body, because for a long time I did not know what hunger was, and I did not know what feeling satisfied was, because I was just forcing myself to eat numbers. And even just like I would stop halfway through my meal and be like, all right, Jen, are you still hungry? Are you full? Eating part of whatever I was eating and leaving some left over, to me, was very foreign, and it was very odd for me to do. But if I was satisfied, there was no point in me eating the rest of it, if that makes sense. Stopped eating things just with nutritional labels on them, because I was getting into a habit of just constantly going for packaged foods because I could track the calories of them. Honor your hunger. So if you are hungry, do not push it aside. I'm telling you, it does not matter if it's 5 in the morning or it's 5 at night. Hunger doesn't have a time limit. We have this like thing in our mind that our bodies know what time it is, and they don't. So just eat if you're hungry. I eat before bed all the time, and nothing has changed. If anything, I feel better about myself when I do that. So just honor your hunger and don't push it aside, because again, you push your hunger aside, you end up getting so hungry, you eat way more than you would if you had just honored your hunger in the first place. Learn how to honor your feelings without food. Your problems with food doesn't solve your problems. It just kind of pushes them to the back burner. And I think it's important to really learn why you're using food. And if there's a problem, like you have anxiety or if you have depression, reach out and ask somebody about that. Because using food to solve those, moments of anxiety or moments of just loneliness, it's just a cycle. Work on one thing out of that cycle, you kind of break that cycle. And if you keep working, you're eventually going to break down this cycle where you will be able to be free. Make peace with food. Stop calling food good. Stop calling food bad. Stop saying cheat. Stop saying treat. I hate that kind of stuff. And I know people do it, and I'm not trying to hate on anyone who calls it that. But eating is not cheating. I cannot stand saying I'm going out for a cheat meal. No, you're not. You're going out for a meal. Like, it's not cheating. And that is something that I'm so passionate about, because when you start saying my guilty pleasure food or I'm going out for a treat meal, you're looking at food as some kind of reward or some kind of... Food isn't a reward. We need it. Like, regardless if you stayed in bed all day, regardless if you ran a marathon, you need food. And when you start associating food as being good and bad, when you eat these bad foods, you start to feel bad about yourself. So easy to see online. You see these people who are eating, 1,000 calories a day or 1,200 calories a day, and they're on some competition prep diet, and they're trying to get down to this leanness, and you think, oh, well, maybe that's what I should do. No, don't do it, please. Every single person is different. People who are dieting to do competitions, that is a very extreme thing to do. That's not something that they're going to do for the rest of their life or something maintainable. You need to do something that's maintainable. Respect your body. Respect it means so many things. Respect how you feed it. Respect how you see it. Respect how you talk to it. Respect is so important. It's really hard when all you see is kind of a one-size-fits-all look at fitness or what healthy looks like. But I've said this before, and I'll say it again, healthy looks different on everyone. And just because someone's healthy looks different doesn't mean it's wrong. Just honor your cravings and honor the food that you enjoy, and make choices that are good for your body, but also make choices that are good for your mentality. And I found that when I was restricting myself and I was saying no to the foods that I really wanted to eat, I would crave them so much more. I personally allow myself to eat whatever food I want. I don't really feel like I'm always thinking about those foods. So, if one day I want to have a cinnamon bun, I'll eat it. And it's nice to know that I can eat the cinnamon bun, and if I get full halfway, which is never really happens, but if I do, I can just stop halfway. I don't feel the need to just engulf it. And what you eat, it does not define you. If you enjoy eating chocolate, eat chocolate. If you don't like broccoli, don't eat it. Like, don't do something just because everyone else is doing it. And I think that is so important, and it's so easy to get caught up in, It can be so hard and confusing, and it is so easy to micromanage your eating, but I promise you, if you just respect your body, and if you form a truce with yourself and just realize that, it is okay to eat. Just work on doing that, and even if it's working on one of these things, knowing that eating a piece of cake or eating something that's not deemed healthy is not going to ruin your progress. And I know I want to get away from all the calorie stuff, but just to put it into perspective, people have this notion of that they can eat all the vegetables in the world and they're never going to gain weight. But it comes down to calories. You can gain weight eating vegetables because vegetables have calories in it. And you can lose weight eating all McDonald's in the world. As long as you're in a caloric deficit, you could lose weight doing that. I'm not saying that's going to be the best for your insides, and your stomach will probably hate you. But when it comes down to it, eating a slice of cake is not going to make you gain weight. Just these foods that are always perceived and deemed as bad foods, they're not bad foods. Eating is not bad. When you start to read up more about intuitive eating, I gave little snippets of it. I know it wasn't the best, but freedom that you get from not having to eat numbers and eat food you enjoy and not have to panic every time you go out is the most rewarding feeling in the entire world. This helped you guys out a little bit, and if you guys have any questions at all, or want me to go even more in depth about intuitive eating or doing a full day of eating, you guys can leave comments below or message me. Give it a try, and do not get discouraged. I'm 2 years clean of not counting calories, and I still do mess up, and I still do subconsciously count calories sometimes, but the feeling of being free of numbers and being able to eat foods that I had not eaten in years is the best feeling in the world. So I hope this helped you guys, and I hope that you guys can be free of numbers and really take my advice to heart. So thanks for watching. Bye!